Harry, this is Lord Potato, and if you heard that click sound, I just realized I started recording. Well, I just clicked recording and I thought I had 3 seconds, but whatever. If you heard that clicking noise, I was just like turning off my light, but whatever. What's it called? So this is part 2 of what if Yuji Itadori ate a Devilfruit and has Haki. Yes, has Haki. Now, we go into where I last left it off. Okay, so let me do a sort of recap, okay? So, the last time, Yuji Itadori was fighting against what's it called, Maki Heno, whatever the hell. But before that, before fighting him, he ate a strange Devilfruit, which allows him to meet the creator of the Devilfruit, the Devil King. Basically, Lucifer. Lucifer decides to help him by taking over his body, and Sukuna cannot do it willingly, unless Yuji does it, but Lucifer is the king and higher ranker than Sukuna can ever be. Of course, Lucifer really just played with Sukuna for a little bit and then kicked him out of Yuji's body by just making Yuji spit out the Sukuna fingers out. But yeah, now of course we go into when Yuji kind of went into what's it called? Well, the exchange event. He didn't want to be in the exchange event, but of course, Gojo had to take his straw hat because Yuji has been reading a lot of manga and decides to become like Luffy, to become the Pirate King. But of course, he bought a straw hat, and of course, his clothing just looks the same. Now, of course, he wanted to look sort of like Doflamingo, but Gojo said, no, you don't. No, the fuck you don't. I think I didn't mention that, but whatever. But of course, he just bought a straw hat. So of course, Gojo took that straw hat and made Yuji come to the exchange event, trying to Gama no Mi punch the shit out of Gojo. But yeah. Now, I should mention one thing. Gojo kind of found out that Yuji can actually kind of punch him with using Haki. Haki is, energy you can use, like, it's your will that you can use in your fists and all that other things. Or like, what's it called? It's spiritual energy. So, of course, it can punch through. If you say you use a blast of, cursed energy, Yuji can go through it using Armament Haki and not get affected by it. So, yeah. So, of course, Armament Haki did punch the shit out of what's it called, Gojo. Now, of course, it wasn't Yuji that was in control, but Lucifer. Now, we go into where Yuji is fighting against Todo. So, yeah. Of course, an arrow and a bullet tries to almost hit Yuji in the head. Now, of course, this is where Yuji dodges, and of course, this is where, we go in there. So, after Yuji kind of seeing the bullet and the arrow almost hit him, he's like, holy shit, what the hell am I getting attacked by? Now, of course, Todo's my best friend. He's over here just like, still thinking about like Yuji becoming his best friend and all that ever since middle school. Like, yeah, okay, buddy. But yeah, but of course, this is where, what's it called? Yuji is over here just dodging some bullets, and of course he's running towards a blue-haired girl, like a Joe Cannon, and of course this is where Miwa says, I'm gonna be easy. If he gets to where I'm gonna be able to, this is where Yuji, he decides to turn his body into magma, just in case she just gets sliced. This is where, Miwa slices through him and says, I got him. This is where Yuji says, ugh. His body just melts, and this is where all of them says, wait, what the fuck? So where Yuji says, he reforms, he's like, the hell did you do? This is where Miwa says, what the hell did you do? This is where Yuji says, you can't hit me. Physically, if you can. This is where Miwa was shocked seeing that Yuji wasn't even affected by her attack. And she put curse energy in it, and she was like, huh? The fuck you mean? This is where a laser beam almost hits Yuji, which it does hit Yuji, and he just blocks it with his arm, but of course it just reforms because of lava. Because he's right now using the Magna no Mi. So of course he's like, huh? Holy shit. That guy kinda hurts. Which I should take you out, shouldn't I? This is where all of them says, a bunch of them are surrounding him. This is where Yuji says, huh. Seems very interesting, don't you think, Lucifer? He said in his mind, skip that last word. This is where Lucifer, he laughs and says, yes, Yuji, it is. Very interesting. Maybe you should use the Itadori. What Devilfruit are you gonna use? I was thinking of using ice. Nah, that's too overrated. Light. Oh, so you're gonna use the Pika Pika no Mi. Why is that? To take that guy over there out. Oh, interesting. Then go ahead. Yuji, he rushes at what's it called? What's it called? Not the cursed corpse, because he's not. He's the doll or whatever. The doll. So, of course, this is where the doll says, damn it, he's going after me. This is where Yuji turns his body to light and appears right behind what's it called? The guy with doll. This is where Yuji has one finger towards his head and says, goodbye, loser. Shoots him with a light beam, blasting his head off. Yuji knows that isn't his real body, so of course it's easy just to kill him off. This is where they're shocked to believe that Yuji just fucked him up. Yuji says, I did not kill him. Don't say I killed him. I know that isn't his real body. That's just a doll or whatever. He can come back later. But that's very interesting, don't you think? Meanwhile, I was shocked to see Yuji just obliterate one of her, teammates. Especially the one that she likes a lot. But yeah, whatever. This is where, they are shocked. And of course, the blood user says, interesting, he's that fast. Did he turn his body into light? Is that his cursed energy technique? But that's impossible. No one can actually do that. This is where Yuji says, who should I go next? He sees one of them kind of flying. Yuji says, maybe I should take her out. That's where Yuji, he jumps up for a little bit and then turn his body into the, blue flames and become, Marco's, Phoenix. Of course, this is where he flies towards the blonde-haired girl. And of course, they all shocked that Yuji just became a fucking Phoenix. Rushes at the girl, and the girl was like, wait, what the? Grabs the broom and her, throws her down to the ground, and just burns the broom into nothing but ashes. This is where Yuji says, well, done with that. Yuji goes to the others, and Yuji's flying in high speeds. Right now, he gets out of his, Phoenix form, and smashes into, the guy that uses blood control. This is where the guy with blood control, he could not react fast enough. He can go, smashes into two trees. Yes, Yuji didn't want to kill him fully, just knock him out. This is where Yuji almost gets hit by a bullet, and Yuji says, Maki? Maiwa says, well, not Maiwa. Mai says, what? I'm not my sister, you bastard. This is where Yuji says, alright, he did mention she had a twin sister. Was that Nobra? Or not? Nobra just says that she had a twin sister and all that. And this is where Yuji says, right, Nobra did tell me, and she did tell me that you did have a twin sister, blah, blah, blah. Nobra says that you're ugly as hell, and useless, and a complaining bitch a lot. This is where Maiwa, Mai was like, you bastard. Shoots at Yuji multiple times, but all the bullets just goes through Yuji like it's nothing. And now, of course, Yuji is right now using the Pika Pika no Mi. So, of course, all bullets are just going through him. And that's where Yuji says, you done? Cursed bullet just shoots at Yuji. Yuji catches it with his hand, using armament hawking just to catch that shit. He throws the bullet and says, you done? That's where Mai just says, how? Yuji goes up to her. Mai says, fine, kill me. I don't care. Yuji says, I knew all of you were trying to kill me. It's just, I only knock you all out because you guys are fucking pointless to even try to kill me. But, I'm not gonna lie, you guys suck at trying to kill me. I kind of didn't really need to lay a hand on any of you, but it's funny. Think about it. Me kicking your ass, you people are trying to kill me, but I don't even kill you. I just knock you out. Except for the robot guy. I knew he wouldn't die because I know that's just a doll in his real body. I knew where it is. His true real body is somewhere very, very fucking far away. But that doesn't point. Well, he says, but that is not the point, right? It's really not. Now, I'm just gonna... My 65 kick me. This is where Yuji pat in the head. That's all. Just pat. This is where Yuji walks away. And Mai just said, huh? Weren't you gonna kick me in the face? Yuji says, nah, I wasn't. That was just a joke for me just to laugh at how stupid you really think I was just gonna kick you. This is where Miwa appears with the sword. This is where Yuji appears. Well, what's it called? Yuji reacts fast enough and pulls out what's it called? Enma. And just slices through the sword easily. Just cutting it like clean butter. Just a clean slice. This is where Miwa's sword just... Miwa just says, my sword? She looks at the sword that Yuji's holding. And it's just, well... Just kind of having this sort of... Kind of very hellish, dangerous aura. This is where Yuji says, well... You never seen a sword like this? Well, you probably never heard of what it's called, but hey, I should probably not tell you what it is. Mai was shocked to even see the sword just get cut, Miwa's own sword. She was like, my sword? Yuji says, go buy another one. Oh, not buy another one. Go get a better one. You truly don't know how to use a sword if you didn't know how to, well, block the attack. Actually, you did block the attack. I just cut it through. You're pretty good at using swords. I would like to teach you how to use armament hawking the sword, but I don't know if you could even use it. Who cares? Yuji walks away and says, so where's Todo? Todo says, my best friend, that was the most amazing thing I ever saw. And I want to fight you. Rematch too. This is where Yuji says, really? Then let's do it. This is where, well, they start fighting, and of course, when Fujiwara and also Maki gets there, because they all thought of Yuji getting attacked, when they get there, they find Mai on the ground, Miwa also next to her. Miwa is shocked to see her sword just cut easily like fucking butter. And, god damn it. Keep stepping on this, like, I accidentally stepped on, well, if you heard that noise, I accidentally stepped on it on my other what if, and you would have heard that noise, but yeah, whatever. Back to what if. They just see Miwa just there sitting. Mai is shocked, and she wasn't even trying to use her bullets because she realized that it's fucking useless. And she did waste her creation bullet, and she's kind of weakened. Of course, Miwa can't even do anything without a sword. And this is where Fujiwara sees the guy with, well, the robot and all that, they really think it was a cursed corpse, just gets obliterated. The guy who's blood user and all that is knocked the fuck out. The blonde hair girl is also knocked the fuck out. And, well, the last one is Todo. They don't know where Todo is at. This is where Todo appears next to Yuji, which they appear on the ground. Because Yuji smashes it in the ground. This is where Yuji says, this is so much fun. This is where, well, Fujiwara was about to do something and try to help Yuji until Yuji puts armament hawk into his arm and says, then fight me more, Todo. Todo says, amazing, my best friend, you are definitely strong. Yuji punches him in the stomach when Todo tried to smash him in the ground. Because he jumped in the air and tried to smash him in the ground. Is where Yuji punches him in the stomach using armament hawking because Yuji noticed that, well, Todo did put cursed energy in his, well, body to enhance it, but of course, the, what's it called, armament hawking neglects anything and just punches through. This is where Todo goes, flies away, smashes into multiple trees. Yuji is laughing, this is saying, this is so much fun. Yuji turns around and says, oh, hey, Fujiwara and Maki. Why are you guys looking at me? Weirdly. Maki says, I just don't want to ask, but when they tried to kill you? Yuji says, yeah, and I kicked their ass 6 on a damn Sunday. They don't know anything about my power, so I whooped their ass. This is where, well, Maki just says, Fujiwara just says, you're fighting against Todo, so you need help? Yuji says, nah, not really. This is fun. It's where Maki and what's it called? Maki and Fujigoro says, "Fun? Fun? Motherfucker." This is where Yuji says, "Don't be so mean." This is where, well, Yuji turns around and says, "Besides, I'm having so much fun. Just go kill the cursed spirits or whatever. Me and, right here, my best friend named Todo are gonna keep fighting. This is so much fun. I've never seen someone this strong. Especially human." He actually said that last part quietly, but yeah. Because, well, Lucifer's also kind of having fun in watching this. Seeing a human fight against Yuji. Then again, Yuji hasn't even mastered his powers. Yuji's only at 25% of mastering his powers. Not even at his 100%. But Yuji has so many devil fruits that he doesn't even know which or what devil fruits he has. Or, well, he has all of them, but he's kind of confused every time. But yeah. Yuji, he says, like, "Fight me, Todo. Are you still alive or are you just gonna lay there?" Todo gets up and says, "My best friend really is a warrior. Now, I will rush you with full speed." What's it called? So Todo rushes at him with full speed. And of course, this is where Todo says, "Black Flash!" This is where Yuji blocks it with armament Haki in his body. And of course, this is when the Black Flash collided with Yuji. And still, it didn't like hit his arms. It smashed his face. I mean, in his face and all that. And hit him across 6 trees. This is where Maki and Fujikoro were like shocked. This is where Todo says, "It's you two. I would attack you, but I'm having too much fun with my best friend." This is where Yuji says, "That punch, that really hurt it." This is where Yuji heals, because he does have a devil fruit that heals him. Like, auto regen, so yeah. And this is where Yuji says, "Luckily if it would have been cheating if I used the Gama to me. Don't you think, Lucifer?" Lucifer says, "True." So, of course, this is where we go into the principals, and the principals are just like, "So, where are the students, the Kyoko students?" This is where, well, Gojo says, "I haven't seen the Kyoko students for any time. And we're eliminating 4 of them now. Tokyo is gonna win. Tokyo, go Tokyo, go Tokyo, go Tokyo." Gojo's right now just cheering. Because he knows the Kyoko students must have won after Yuji. Now they're either knocked the fuck out or dead. Because Yuji is overpowered as fuck. Now, of course, Gojo didn't explain anything about Yuji's abilities or anything like that. Everyone just thinks that Yuji's still Sukuna's vessel, but Gojo can see Yuji being something else. And yeah. Now, of course, Gojo does have what's called Yuji's straw hat, because yeah, that's the only way for Yuji to fight. But yeah, or to actually be in the exchange event. But yeah. Yes, well, Gojo saying, "Go, go, go! I'm gonna win! Suck it, old man! You fucking suck! Where are your students now, huh? Clearly, they're nowhere near my students." This is where the old man has a tech mark, but of course he's saying, "Oh, they're gonna be here soon, real soon." Of course, Mei is just like, there's really no kill, and until she like, of course, one of her like birds and all that, I think it was a crow and all that, she's just looking around and she see crash Yuji appearing, and this is where Yuji says, "Bring it on, Todo! You are truly the strongest I have ever met." This is where Gojo says, "Look at Yuji." This is where Todo appears trying to punch Yuji, but of course this is where Yuji puts armament Haki and uppercuts his shit. Pah! Launching Todo up in the air. This is where they're shocked. This is where, well, Urihime says, "Gojo, what the hell is that in his arm?" Gojo says, "Oh shit. Hey Mei, you want to change to somewhere else?" Mei says, "Sure." This is where, well, they're going to the other students, and this is where, well, the old man says, "What the hell was that?" Gojo says, "Oh, I'm sorry, old man. Did you say something? I wasn't paying attention. I think the straw hat actually some straws went into my ear. I didn't hear you much." This is where, well, Urihime says, "Gojo, what the hell was that?" Gojo says, "Fine. I should probably explain what it was from Yuji using. Yuji just used his willpower and his arm. They're all confused. They're like dot 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 dot. May just says dot dot dot. Everyone was just confused. They were confused and what the fuck Gojo just said. Gojo says, let me explain. Yuji has a very special ability that is not curse energy, but his willpower. He has 3 forms, I think so. I can't remember what's his 3rd form. But Gojo knows what his 3rd form is. He just doesn't want to mention it. Because he has seen Yuji being pissed and using it before. Scaring the shit out of Hanami and even Shoko. But yeah. And even Gojo somewhat. But this is where Gojo says 2 forms that I can mention. First, Armament Hawking. Armament Hawking is, well, the will you put in your fist or anywhere in your body so you wouldn't get hurt by normal attacks or anything like that. But Yuji's abilities is like that, I mentioned. But it can also neglect cursed energy and you can just direct punch someone who enhance your body with cursed energy. They're like, shot. This is where, well, May says, you said there was a 2nd one. That's where Gojo says, yeah, the 2nd one. It's a sensory one. He can sense anywhere for straight into a fucking mile. With, well, Arbitration Hawking. So first was Armament Hawking, 2nd was Arbitration Hawking. And he did say he can see into the future if he advances enough. And not gonna lie, that shit's overpowered if he can see into the future, Gojo said. They're like, their jaws just go to the ground. Gojo's smiling, saying, what are y'all guys just looking at? Do you see the talent of my students? Or mostly Yuji. But not the point. Yuji is one of the talented kids. He's kind of talented, like, what they call. He says he's kind of, or more talented, or just kind of next to Yuta Akato. So, of course, Yuta Akato, he's the guy that will be in the movie not season 0, in the movie 0, episode 0, whatever you like to call it, for Jujutsu Kaisen. That one guy that has, well, he was cursed by his kind of best friend. His best friend being a girl, kind of being his cursed spirit or whatever it is. It's kind of like a freaking stand, okay? If you want to think about it, he basically has a stand. That's the only way I can explain it. Kind of good. It kind of is a stand that has a mind of its own, if you want to think about it like that. But yeah, this is where, well, Gojo says that he's kind of like that. But, well, if Yuji and Yotasu ever met and fight, I feel like Yuji would still kick his ass because of his armament Haki. This is where, well, Urahime says, wait, why? Or not Urahime, Yako. Yeah, Yako says, wait, why? This is where Gojo says, well, the problem is with Yuji. Yuji can use armament Hawking and arbitration Hawking. He can see into the future and no one can copy it at all. Because if I can remember right, Yato was able to copy abilities. If I can remember right, I think I read in the manga. Am I thinking of someone else? I can't fucking remember. But of course, is where Gojo says he can't copy this will of Yuji's because he has to have his own will, and it must be powerful, more powerful than Yuji's, to actually compare to him. But without that, Yuji has other things that doesn't need to deal with his willpower. His 2 swords are very powerful. Kind of a little too broken and can easily cut to normal swords, even if you have curse energy. This is where, well, there says, what? Gojo says, never mind, look at the freaking show. Yeah, Tokyo students about to win. We got one more, and then, yeah, I think it was like 6 in total of the tags and all that. Until it exploded blue, and that's where Gojo says, yeah! Until the television just stops, and of course, a veil was still put on. That's where, well, Maki and also, yeah, Maki and Fujiwara were just sitting there next to Mai and, well, Miwa and the others. Of course, the others were kind of waking up slowly, sitting next to the others, and just sitting there. They really have no words to just describe Yuji's power. Now, of course, all they hear in the distance is boom, boom, boom. Yes, what's it called? Todo and Yuji are right now destroying anything around their places. But of course, the sky kind of went a little bit darker, kind of shade of yellow, whatever, because, well, a veil kind of appeared. This is where, well, Gojo says, what the hell happened? This is where, well, Gojo is like saying, I feel like something's terrible's happening. This is where, well, Gojo says, come on, old man. We gotta see your students if they're fine or they're dead by Yuji. But, not his fault. Yuji was attacked first and, rep them, don't you think? This is where, well, Rihime just says, whatever. So they're kind of walking, but they then see the veil, so they're running. So, yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Panda and Togo and even Nobra, where Togo was kind of knocking, well, not knocking. Mostly it was Panda, Nobra, and even Togo that were kind of defeating the cursed spirits, because they did get a text from Fujiwara saying that the other students are just sitting there, just absolutely doing nothing. They're shocked. Yuji was the one who kicked their ass. Nobra says, did he at least beat the crap out of Mai? Mai says, bitch, he didn't even touch me. He just hits me in the head and then walks away. And this is where Nobra says, hell yeah, he hit you in the head. And this is where, well, Maki says, not really. I don't see a bump in her head. Mai says, because he just tapped me in the head. Just like, tap, pet, and all that. And he just walked away. I thought I was going to get kicked in the face until he just psyched me out. This is where Nobra says, son of a bitch, Yuji, what the hell? This is where they keep hearing explosions, and they hear in the distance, come on, Toyoro, fight more! So, of course, Todo and Yuji are just keeps with their battle, but yeah. This is where, well, Todo is trying to teach Yuji how to use curse energy, while Yuji is teaching Todo how to use armament hacking. And Todo has a very strong will. So, yeah. Of course, this is where Todo is actually learning a little bit how to use armament hacking. And when they collide with punches, his armament hacking is still kind of weaker version than Yuji, but Yuji is trying to push him for his will to go up, for him to add more armament hacking than just a little bit on his hand. This is where Yuji is also learning how to use curse energy way better. But yeah, of course, this is where, well, their fights are just keep colliding, crashing, smashing, and of course, where, well, they stop because they see the veil, and then they hear, well, they hear an explosion. So, of course, we go back into Fujiwara and the others. This is where, well, Togo managed to run out and says, everyone, well, he says, run! Well, he didn't say run. He kind of just jumped and did a flip because he did kind of get blasted away. And of course, everyone stand up and says, this is where, well, Maki says, what is wrong? Togo's nervous, he's sweating. This is where a special curse appears. Hanami. Yeah, Hanami. Hanami just says, hello, you foolish human kid. This is where all of them gets on guard. They're like, shit. This is where half of them are kind of hurt and still can't really fight. Most of the guys, but the girls are like, yeah. This is where, well, they're like, shit, we can't really fight against this. Now, of course, Urihime and the old man still goes in. The old man still fights against that one dude. And, of course, Urihime is trying to look for the students. Now, of course, this is where, well, Mei does tell, Urihime that, well, the students are all together from Nobra, Panda, and even, well, just Nobra and Panda. They're just right now running around. But yeah, this is where, well, Urihime managed to bump into, well, Togo and Yuji. Now, of course, when she gets there, she sees a bunch of trees destroyed. She then tell both of them that Vel has put in. Gojo is not allowed to be in it, but other than that, everyone can still escape easily. This is where Yuji says, huh, interesting. Then that means, could I easily break through this veil? That'd be so much easier. Wait, so you said this veil is made with cursed energy. What's it called? Yuji said. This is where Urihime says, yeah, but how you gonna get towards here, from here, towards up there, or anywhere? That's too far. Just get to the other students. Don't do anything stupid, Yuji. I know you have an ability where it can cancel out cursed energy. Yuji says, this son of a... that white-haired bastard tell you about my ability. Damn it. I wanted to keep that such a secret. This is where Urihime says, whatever, just get to the students. This is where Yuji says, come on, Todo. There's a short way to get there. This is where, well, Todo says, really? Yuji turns into a phoenix, grabs Todo from the arms and says, let's go! Flies in the air. This is where Urihime just says, he can fucking fly? Wait, he can transform and fly? What the hell? Gojo really doesn't explain anything for him. Or anything to us about him. So, of course, this is where, well, Yuji and Todo managed to get to the place. And of course, Fujigoro is kind of hurt and all that. Maki is trying to fight, but of course she can't. She does have her, what's it called? Well, the staff and all that. Was it a staff? No, it was the... Fuck, I'm not going to try to remember what it was. It was like a... I want to say nunchucks for some reason, but yeah, it's a staff. But whatever. This is where, well, she says, huh. It seems that, well, this thing is strong. Everyone else is still kind of hurt. But yeah. And then you are easily kind of defeated. Togo was kind of knocked down and all that. This is where Yuji appears. And Yuji says, Todo, get ready. Todo says, got it, what's it called, brother. Because Yuji did use, what's it called, Black Flash during, what's it called, Todo's battle. And of course, Todo was amazed to even know that Yuji was able to use Black Flash. And just with the amazing power. That's where, what's it called, Yuji says, I'm gonna launch you so fast, you better put Armament Haki into your arm and do Black Flash. That's where, Todo says, that's actually a great idea. But wouldn't that break my legs? Yuji says, also put Armament Haki into your legs, what do you think? I thought you were smarter than me. That's where, well, Todo says, I am, but what about you? I'll be flying really fast to smash into him. Todo says, got it then, brother. That's where, well, Yuji launches, like, lets go of what's it called, Todo so fast. And Todo is right now rushing mid-air. Puts Armament Haki into his right arm. Puts, what's it called, he's about to do Black Flash. And his legs just put Armament Haki. And of course, this is where, well, the special curse says, you foolish humans, you should just smash the ground, and the ground just below the cursed spirit just cracks. A bunch of, like, cracks. This is where, well, Todo lands on the ground with both of his legs still intact, still fine. This is where the cursed spirit was. So, Hanami was shocked, but also just, what the fuck just hit him? And, of course, everyone is shocked. This is where, well, Maki says, Todo, how did you come from the sky? This is where, well, Maya says, wait, if you came from the sky, does that mean Yuji's up there? Yuji is right now in the air, and of course, Yuji says, this is good. This is pretty far enough, right? This is where Yuji makes a clone of himself that has, well, the Itadori, and just hangs up there. And this is where Yuji says, punch the fucking veil down and I'll kill this thing. This is where the clone nods. This is where Yuji, he flies in just blinding speed. And of course, he turns his body back into normal. But of course, this is where Yuji puts his arm out. Armament Haki. But this is where Yuji says, advance Armament Haki plus Black Flash. That's where Yuji, he just smashes into what's it called, Hanami. And of course, when it hit Hanami, Hanami just gets hit in the chest because he managed to get back up. But of course, since Advanced Armament Haki is like pushing an attack to kind of crack from the inside instead of smashing it from the outside. So yeah, it's an impact for the inside. Of course, Hanami right now inside just explodes. Just spitting out what's it called? Well, vomiting, what's it called? Purple blood, I think it was. Yeah, purple blood. And of course, he's like, how that? Yuji, he landed on his feet. And of course, this is where Yuji says, now. This is where Will, his clone, just said, fine. Armament Haki. Smashes, well, what's it called? Not even smashes. It uses Ito no Mi. Armament Haki Rainbow. Right now, cutting through everything. It just cuts through all of the veils, kind of cracking it, and Gojo can get inside. Of course, the veil also cracks in, yeah. Gojo was now inside and saying hello there because Urahime was right now fighting against this one guy. Of course, Panda got there and just went Panda Punch, knocked him out. But yeah, of course, this is where Gojo appears and says, "Yo." This is where he sees the students kind of hurt, and this is where Fujigoro saying, my fucking damn it, Gojo. This is where Yuji goes up to what's it called? Well, Fujigoro, and he says, "Don't worry, Fujigoro, I got this. Open to me." So of course he uses what's it called? The Devilfruit that Law has to kind of take out the what's called vines from Fujigoro because it's nothing. Was it open to me or what? Am I saying something wrong? Okay, I've been saying it wrong. It's ope. Yeah, so just ope no mi. So of course he managed to take the vines out, the what's it called, cursed spirit vines. And of course this is where Fujigoro's like, what the hell did he do to me? What's it called, Yuji? Yuji says, don't worry about it. So it seems that this cursed spirit doesn't know when to give up. The cursed spirit named Hanami says, "You bastard! You must be." This Gojo Sato, this is bad, but that kid, his power is beyond. No wonder, what's called, Makihito says to get away from him. He's not Sukuna's vessel. He's something dangerous, more dangerous than Sukuna itself. Here's where Yuji says, "Hey Gojo, do a final flash attack, or not final flash attack, do a final attack. I have the perfect idea to stop him from getting anywhere." Here's where Gojo says, "You sure?" Yuji says, "Yep, of course." Here's where, Hanami says, "I gotta leave." Well, time to leave. See you later. Went in the air. Because strings just started appearing all around his body and launched him up in the sky. Here's where Yuji is right now saying, no, you don't. Gojo? Gojo says, "You don't even know my final attack, is it?" "No, I'm hoping you just do a red flash just to launch his ass so far. But, I don't know what you're gonna do now." Gojo says, whatever. He takes off his, what's it called? Well, his blindfold. Of course, showing his sixth eye for the first time. Well, for the first time right now. For Yuji, somewhat. This is where, he then says, reverse red energy. Well, yeah, reverse curse energy, and negative. Not negative. Curse energy, blue. Reverse curse energy, red. Combining together, hollow purple, and just launches it at Hanami. Hanami tries to struggle to get out, but Yuji is right now putting armament Haki all around the string so it wouldn't get him out. This is where when it just like hits what's it called, Hanami, it's obliterated. It's just gone. Hanami is dead. This is where Yuji says, "Huh? Don't you think that's fun?" Yuji did let go of his strings after that, but of course kind of put him in mid-air. But of course, well, not mid-air. He did kind of get rid of the armament Haki, so the armament Haki wouldn't work on Hanami. But of course, this is where, Hanami is obliterated. Also, his strings are obliterated. That's where Yuji says, "My strings!" This is where Gojo says, "Wait. Can I obliterate your armament Haki when my..." Yuji says, "No, I stopped armament Haki flowing, but of course, yeah. I didn't know you could obliterate my strings." Luckily, you can't use that multiple times, would you? You waste too much energy. Gojo says, "Don't test your luck, brat." This is where Yuji says, "I know. Don't worry, I want to test my luck. It'll do very well. Yuji says, but I'm gonna sit down. So he just sits down next to Maya. Because, well, Maya was trying to do stuff, but of course she couldn't because, well, she didn't have bullets. And of course, well, she did, but she couldn't go against the cursed spirit. That's where Yuji says, what to do? Don't you think, Maya? Maya says, you still remember her name? Yuji says, why, of course, yes. But yeah, as well, Fujigoro was hurt, but Yuji wasn't. So yeah, we go into the time when Fujigoro is still in sort of the hospital bed, and that's where Yuji says, "So, Fujigoro, you still hurt or what?" Fujigoro says, "No, not really. You using that weird ability, it's strange, but yeah." Now we go into Maki. Maki is right now using what's it called? Well, the blade that Yuji gave her. Of course, she was about to use it again to call the cursed spirit, but she didn't. She felt like she wasn't worthy enough. But of course, she's trying to train in how to use it. But yeah, trying to use armor Haki. But yeah, as you're aware, the Nobra was shocked to hear that Yuji is actually the one to fight against Todo, and well, even kind of team up with Todo to fight against the cursed spirit. Especially how Yuji kind of smashed into him and almost killed the cursed spirit in one shot. This is where Yuji says, What are you all looking at me? This is where Nobra says, Yuji? Yeah? What the hell did you do to the other students? Nothing. I'm just not gonna try to kill them, don't worry. Oh, that reminds me to do something. Yuji was about to get up until he saw Todo and he says, Yo, bro, what are you doing here? This is where Todo says, I'm so happy that my brother's here right now, just chilling with his friends. This is where Todo says, hello, brother. This is where Yuji says, hello there. What are you doing? This is where Todo says, no, I'm just here just looking at my brother. This is where, well, Yuji nodded, and this is where Yuji says, so, have you learned armament Haki now? Well, I mean, I did see you use it, but it was still kind of a weak version. And if you didn't put enough curse energy, or not enough, if you didn't put enough armament Haki, you would have broke your arm if you didn't hit it on purpose. Or, well, I mean, you're physically strong, so I mean, I don't need to be worried about that. But yeah, you just need to master it, Todo, my brother. This is where, well, Todo says, well, I haven't mastered it, but it's just, well, I haven't mastered it. That's where Yuji says, such a drag. You better master it. I want my rematch. And since I have heard the exchange event about those those fights between people, I hope I get a rematch with you, Todo, my brother. And I'm hoping you better master it. Here's where Todo says, don't count yourself too lucky. I'm gonna master it, and I'm gonna show you, brother, that I can master it easily. This is where Yuji says, whatever, you go do that because I gotta go help someone. This is where, well, Maya's right now seeing what's called Maki kind of train with the sword, and she did see the sword that, well, Maya didn't have on. But of course, seeing that Maya didn't see the sword in action or anything, but right now seeing, well, Maki kind of use it and trying to slash at, well, the target. Of course, she's holding it kind of gently, and of course trying to hold it so strong, but yeah. Yuji says, that's not really the way to hold it perfectly, Maki. This is where Maki says, Yuji. Yuji says, I thought I told you to use armament Haki. It would have been easier. You know, if you don't use armament Haki and you go against a tough opponent, the sword will shatter. Not really. It's still very strong in metal, but armament Haki will allow it to be sharper and denser. It won't be able to shatter. I'm just telling you this because you gotta learn how to use armament hawking, observation hawking. That's where Maki says, okay, I can't really explain how to use it. You had a little bit in the beginning before this whole exchange event. I can try to train you right now, but I gotta go do something. That's where Maya, she goes up and then talks to Yuji and saying, I want to learn armament hawking also. Yuji says, why? That's where Maya says, because I'm not physically strong as my sister, okay? Yuji says, fine. This is where Yuji kind of takes about 10 minutes to kind of explain it. And then this is where Yuji disappears. Yuji says, there, I explain it. You just have to use your anger, trying to focus enough of your willpower to use it. Yuji then explains that it might be harder for someone to use cursed energy their entire life. Or train in cursed energy their entire life. But for Maki, since she's kind of special and not using cursed energy at all, she will be able to use this power. But I don't know. You can try, Maya. I don't really care that much. Maya, she says, fine. This is where Maya and Maki kind of train. And of course, they kind of set their differences aside to kind of try to learn armament hawking. Now, we go into Yuji. He uses the Pika Pika no Mi to just teleport. Now, of course, this is where he teleports into, a building and goes underneath. This is where he goes to a door and sees the door is just shut. That's where Yuji opens it, goes inside, and sees, this is where Yuji sees Mekamaru. Mekamaru kind of looks towards where the door opened, and he sees Yuji. He's like, Yuji? Yuji says, hello there, Mekamaru. Well, it's time for you to get the fuck up, because I'm about to heal you. Now, tell me, will you ever betray the school if I heal you? Mekamaru looks at him and says, you can try to heal me, but I don't know. That's where Yuji says, fine, I help you. Yuji goes closer. Yuji then says, what's it called? That's where Yuji says, fine. This is where Yuji uses a Devilfruit called Shuri. Shuri no Mi. This Devilfruit repairs all skin, just heals it to the max. This is where it's just a repair, it's kind of like a heal ability. This is where Yuji is kind of healing what's it called, Megamaru. This is where, Megamaru is being healed to the max, and of course, this is where, his body changes. From just having a bunch of bandages and having, kind of one arm, or was it 2 arms? 2 arms. He now has, his kind of, look that he looks in, the manga. This is where, he looks at Yuji, and Yuji says, come on, put on some clothes and do whatever the fuck you want. This is where Mekamaru just says, I don't have clothes. Yuji says, right. Luckily, I managed to grab some. Yuji, he pulls out, what's it called? Yuji pulls out something from his, what's it called, jacket. A small little box. It's tiny, and Yuji says, Saizu. This is where Saizu no Mi. This is where it becomes a bigger box, and then Yuji just opens it. It has clothing of Mekamaru to wear, and that's where Yuji throws it at Mekamaru. Mekamaru managed to catch the box, but then barely catch the box. It hit him in the face. Mekamaru says, ow, my fucking face. Why the fuck did you do that? Yuji says, because you tried to shoot at me in the exchange event. Well, I want to torture your real body. Mekamaru says, got it. I think I'd rather not get fucking change. This is where Yuji waits outside, and this is where Mekamaru, he just changes and says, okay, let's go. This is where Yuji says, hold on tight. This is where Mekamaru says, wait, what are we doing? Yuji says, Pika Pika no Mi. He turns into light and also turns, Mekamaru into light, reflecting multiple windows and getting to what's called Jujutsu High pretty fast. Now, of course, this is where everyone It's kind of in the kind of lunchroom or whatever the hell it is. And Gojo says, "Where's Yuji?" Yuji appears and says, "Yo, behind you." And this is where Gojo says, "Hey, Yuji. God, you gotta be scary. You're scary half the time, but who the hell is that guy?" This is where Yuji says, "This is Mekamaru. I repair his body into healing into the max. Being able to repair him and breaking some, not really breaking a heavenly pack or whatever, just healing his body." So, of course, he's healed. He's here. This is where, well, Gojo says, okay, Mekamaru, go sit wherever. Mekamaru sits next to Miwa, and this is where, well, Miwa was like, "Mekamaru, is that you?" Mekamaru says, "Yeah, it is." This is where, well, Maya is shocked to see Mekamaru and look like this. Everyone is shocked. This is where Yuji is saying, "So, who are we gonna fight? Because I really want my rematch with Todo." And that's where Gojo says, "I mean, we kind of had a a post on that, but we have something to select this. Here you go." Yuji says, "What the hell is this box for?" "Well, it's for you to find, well, what's it called?" Gojo says, "It's for you to find your select matches." That's where Yuji says, "Fine." Yuji, every time he grabs one piece of paper, he's trying to look around, trying to find Toto's name. He looks around. He uses observation Haki multiple times into the future. He sees all of it says baseball. And this is where Yuji says, he looks at Gojo, and Gojo says, "What are you doing, Yuji? Come on, hurry up." Yuji says, "I'd rather give someone this choice." It's where, well, what Toto did tell him about the for the match is still the experiment speech or whatever. Expiring speech. So yeah. So of course this is where Yuji says, when he's looking around, but yeah, this is where Yuji says, "I think I'd rather give it to someone else. You fucking bastard." This is where Gojo says, "I knew you would have used observation Haki to the max and using, well, future sight." Which I'm just gonna be calling a future sight. Yuji says, "It's called just advanced observation, you fucking prick." Who cares? Now I know what you saw in those what's it called, visions. In those futures. But come on, Yuji. You can't really find anything, can you? This is what Yuji saying. "Hey, Fujigoro, you wanna grab one paper? I'll give you everyone a piece of paper." This is where Fujigoro grabs one. Maki, everyone just grabs a paper because Yuji appears right in front of them. And this is where Yuji takes it and says, all of it says fucking baseball. Everyone is shocked. This is where, well, Gojo says, "Well, yeah, it seems we're doing baseball," the old man. The two, what's it called, principal says, "Baseball." This is where Yuji says, "Damn, you two are fast." This is where, well, Yaga says, "Gojo." Gojo already kind of walked away and says, "Ha, see ya." This is where Yuji says, "I'm gonna fucking kill that bastard." This is where, well, everyone is wondering how Yuji even figured that out. Yuji says, "I can use future." Well, god damn it, I'm about to be calling it future sight. Yuji said, "Oh my days, fucking bastard. I'm gonna kill that prick." Whatever. I use my observation Haki to look around, and of course, every time I get one of the papers, it said, well, baseball. Knowing damn well that almost all of them said baseball, because there's no way in hell any of these got them say anything else. He just getting paper over and over because there was a couple more, and they're all just say baseball. Yuji really just wants to kill people now. He's just having enough. His breaking point is kind of getting annoying multiple times, and he's kind of having bloodlust, and of course bloodlust is kind of leaking off of him, which the two principals kind of sweat drop and kind of walk further away from Yuji, which everyone kind of walk away from him. But this is where Yuji says, "I'll probably kill him now." No, I shouldn't kill him. God damn it, that fucking white-haired bastard. But we go into the baseball game. Now Yuji, he's having so much bloodlust, straight to Gojo, And Gojo saying, "Hey Yuji, why you look so angry?" "Oh, don't worry, Gojo. I'm not that angry. I'm just pissed. An extreme amount of piss. Just to kill you. You know, if I use one of my Ito no Mis with talking, do you think I can easily kill you?" Gojo says, "No, you don't." Yuji says, "Fine, I won't kill you. But one day I will just murder you. How much of a fucking prick you are." This is where Gojo says, "I love you too, Yuji. Don't kill me. Because you know I'm your teacher." This is where Yuji says, "Fuck you." This is where, well, everyone is just playing baseball, and of course, it goes somewhat an original same. But of course, this is where, well, Mekamaru is, well, somewhat not the pitcher. The pitcher is Todo, and Todo says, "It seems I'm gonna be throwing the ball. Hope you catch it, brother." This is where, well, he throws it. Maki still hits it and makes a home run. So yeah. Of course, this is where, well, the girl with the broom can't really fly because, well, Yuji kind of burnt the hell out of it or destroy it. So of course, this is where, well, Yuji just says, "God damn, you fucking missed, bro." This is where, well, Todo says, "I will get this time." Now, of course, this is where Yuji is, well, gonna pitch next. And of course, this is where Yuji sees Todo being what they call the person with the glove and all that, getting ready just in case the person missing all that. Well, not the person missing all that, the batter and all. And this is where Yuji says, "I hope you can get this, Maki." Because I'm not letting Todo hit it. This is where Todo says, "Oh, you think you can hit it? You realize you still can't." It almost hit him in the head. This is where Yuji says, "I told you to duck." This is where Yuji did tell him to duck. This is where Todo says, "Okay, I see. Fine. Do it again." This is where Yuji puts his string, grabs the ball, and this is where Yuji puts Armament Haki into the ball. And this is where Todo does the same. This is where Gojo says, "Oh no, you two don't. Like hell, I will let you do this." Yuji throws it anyway. And of course, this is where Todo uses his own Armament Haki trying to put it on the bat. And tries to swing the bat. Trying to put the bat, well, what's it called? Push the ball away. Struggling. But of course, he's like, "Argh." The bat snaps because he didn't put enough Armament Haki. And it just goes through what's it called, the fence gate. This is where, well, Maki says, "Yuji, stop using Armament Haki." Yuji says, "Fine." God damn it. This is where, well, next we go into what's it called, the Tokyo round and all. And of course, it's the final Tokyo round. And this is where, well, Yuji, he says, "Bring it on, Todo." This is where Todo says, "I'll be able to defeat you." This is where not Todo. I was about to say Todo for some reason. No, Todo just threw the ball with someone Armament Haki again. But this is where Yuji puts Armament Haki into his bat. And of course, this Armament Haki is, well, what's it called? Sorry, brother. It's still kind of black and all that. Well, not black. It's blue and all that, like a dark shade of blue. And this is where he hits, well, the ball. And of course, he just swings the bat with one hand. And of course, it just flies very far. This is where a home run appears and Yuji, he scored. So yeah, that's where, well, Yage and, well, talking to what's called the other principal saying, "So how do you feel about Yuji? Do you hate him?" The old man says, "No, not really. He's a scary person. But if he doesn't have Sukuna's finger no more, I guess I don't really hate him. But something like him is kind of scary. To believe that he's similar to Todo's personality." That's where Yaga says true. That's where, well, Yaga says, "But at least we can only hope to see." That's where the other principal says, "Yeah." That's where Gojo says, "Ha ha 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 ha." That's where the other principal says, "You gotta do something about Gojo." Yaga says, "I know." But yeah, now of course we go into fast forward, and of course we go into like 1 week later. So yeah, or 2 weeks later. But yeah, Of course, Yuji is now on the team with what's it called, Fujigoro and all the other, and Nobra. But yeah, now of course is where Maki and Maya has been trying to train an armament Haki when they were at the school anyway. And of course, they did ask Yuji for help, and Yuji had to help them. First of all, Yuji explained how to do armament Haki, and actually did fight against him with his two swords, Emma and the Heaven Snake Slayer. This is where he slashes through what's it called? Well, almost hits what's it called Maya in the neck, and Maki also in the neck. But of course, they were what's it called? They weren't the blade side, they were only the flat side. This is where Yuji says, God damn it, you two really have to not be able to try. I already did tell you how to use armament Haki. Maki actually found out how to get the hang of it, and Maya somewhat did. Maya says, it's not my fault, okay? Kind of using armament Haki and cursed energy is kind of harder than you think. Yuji says, I have both, and I'm basically using them pretty good. This is where Maya's just like, oh yeah? Then she makes, well, a bet with Yuji that if she can't learn armament Haki until the end of the week, well, she will do anything that Yuji would like. And of course, if if she can't do it, yeah. But if she does it, she will, well, Yuji will have to do anything that Maya would do, yeah. Whatever. Well, yeah. Of course, the week ends, and of course, Maya, she couldn't do it. And of course, is where she says, whatever you like. It's where Yuji, he doesn't do anything perverted or anything like that. Not much. He just says, you will go on a date with me. You and your sister. That's where Maki and Maya just blush and they say, what? This is where Yuji laughs and says, I'm just kidding. This is where Yuji says, I don't know about that. Besides, I'm still just, well, only 16, so I mean, This is where Yuji says, but whatever. I'm not gonna really ask for anything, but yeah. See ya. This is where Yuji disappears. She's in the Pika, disappears. Yeah. So, of course, where we go into, well, the kind of cursed spirits disappearance. Well, not cursed. Spirits disappearance. The human disappearance. Fujigoro, Nobra. So, everything would go kind of similar to the same until just jumping over the bridge. Yuji does that. Yuji doesn't even use that little string. He just jumps over that shit. But we go to the beginning. Now, of course, this is where they get to the school and all that. And Yuji, he says, listen up, you fucking fucks. And this is where they said, oh yeah. And of course, this is where Yuji's kind of setting an aura dangerous. And of course, they say, yes, sir. This is where, well, they see Fujigoro and they say, Fujigoro, long time no seen. This is where Yuji doesn't care. And Nobra does ask Fujigoro multiple times. And of course, this is where, well, Fujigoro's kind of janitor, whatever, old janitor for the school kind of says all this and blah, blah, blah. And of course, is where the janitor does still talk about Fujigoro's sister. And of course, is where, well, Yuji says, you know, Fujigoro. I'm kind of saying it quietly from the others. From the other kind of blonde haired girl and Nobra. Because Nobra was kind of seeing, talking to her and all. And of course, the word Yuji says, you know, Fujigoro, I can heal your sister. That's where Fujigoro says, no thanks. That's where Yuji says, you realize I healed you, and I didn't even use curse energy. I can probably be easy enough to break through the whatever, curse. Maybe I have an eraser ability. Don't know if I do have it. I have to keep reading the One Piece manga. So yeah, he was still on the One Piece manga, but yeah. Because, well, yeah. This is where, well, Fujigoro says, no, I'm okay. Yuji says, stop being so stubborn. I can heal her. Stop being such a prick. Fujigoro ignores him and walks away. Now, of course, is where the girl still comes in and still tells him about that she was there when it happens and blah blah blah. So of course is where Megami still kind of calls up Ichi for his sister, and of course is where he tries to he forces Nobara to go in, but when he tries to force Yuji, his hands kind of goes through, and of course he kind of falls in it. This is where Yuji says, "I'm gonna take care of the cursed spirit. You go home, Fujigoro." That's where Yuji just teleports using not teleports, uses the Pika Pika no Mi to just vanish. But yeah. This is where, uh, Fujigoro says, God damn it. Now, of course, Fujigoro and with Ka, let's turn. The Nobara kind of just went after him. Of course, Yuji is right now down the stream and all that, and he's kind of just looking around, trying to sense where it is, and he can find a kind of glimpse of it using his observation knocking. This is where Megami and Nobara says, "You're not going alone." That's where Yuji says, "Whatever, fine." So of course they still go into the what's called veil and all that, need barrier and all that. And of course where Yuji is using what's it called using ice needles. He just makes ice needles to hit all the targets like the whack-a-moles and all that. And this is where Yuji sees the call. Something coming in. Nobara and Yuji dodges. Of course, this is where Yuji starts fighting against it. And of course, this is where Yuji's easily beating his ass super easily, dodging, kicking the shit out of it. Yeah. That's where Nobara still gets captured by, the other curse bear user. Or not curse bear user, the curse bear. And this is where, the other one kind of rushes into the portal. Yuji jumps in, and Yuji says, "Don't die, Fujigoro." This is where, Fujigoro says, "I won't." This is where Fujigoro finishes off, and of course is where, Fujigoro sees that he's fighting against a special curse, and is still using his domain expansion to kind of beat the crap out of it, but yeah. Now, of course, is where Yuji and Nobara are fighting against these, not creatures, these cursed spirits. And of course, is where Yuji, he uses the Itadori to kill the younger one. And of course, the older one gets mad and tries to attack both of them. And of course, Yuji dodges, and Nobara also tries to dodge. Of course, she's hit by poison. She's like, "Damn it." This is where Yuji says, "Bastard, don't hurt my teammate." Yuji's, a horn appears and says, "Die." He then makes string domain, which a domain around what's called while the person appears, a bunch of strings, and he just gets cut into a million pieces. This is where the kind of curse thing that was the decay was lifted off what's called, Nobara, but yeah. This is where, it was kind of lifted off because Yuji also used, you kind of sense a little bit of armament hacking into what's it called, Nobara, to actually kind of destroy. Well, not destroy. He kind of used the open the meat to heal her. But yeah. This is where, they get to where Fujigoro. And of course, Yuji doesn't eat the finger because, he doesn't have Sukuna. Now, of course, this is where, they kind of help what's called Fujigoro, and yeah. Now, of course, we go into, the principal from the other side kind of saying, "So who do you recommend, Todo?" Todo says, "I recommend my brother, Yuji Itadori." This is where May says, "I recommend," who was it again? I think it was Maki. Yeah. So yeah. This is where, as a side, and yeah. But this is where I'm gonna leave it off for part 2 of What If Yuji Itadori ate a Devilfruit and has Haki. Part 2. The kind of end of season 1. Because, until season 2 comes, I'm not going into manga, but yeah. Yeah, but with that happening, I'll end it off here. But yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato. And yeah. Now, yeah, potato.